Hello friends, welcome back to City Stutters. My name is Jess. It's been a really long time and I apologize for not putting any videos up anytime recently, but it's been quite the busy season for us. And not only that, our weather has not been good lately. We've had a very cold snap where I'm just not able to plant anything or get outside or anything, and I'm sure many people in the Midwest have been experiencing the same thing. So there isn't much to report here, so I will go around and show you some things this spring that we're working on and talk about some downfalls to the cold weather we've been having lately. We finally have some life. These are the tulips in my front yard, and last year by Easter the flowers were coming up, but this year, due to all the freezing cold weather we've been having, we still don't have tulips coming up yet, just the leaves. So as a gardener, I feel like you're always learning. I've been gardening for 13 years and every year I am being taught new things, and this year is the lesson I've learned. One is patience, because it's been such a long winter and I've really struggled with patience and waiting for it to warm up. I love summer, I love spring. I do not love winter at all. So my patience has been tested this year for sure. The other thing is that you can do everything right. You can follow the calendar to a T. You can start your seedlings when you're advised to start your seedlings, and it still might not work out for you. And that's what happened to me this year. I started my seedlings when it was recommended for my zone, and I kept them inside for about as long as they could take it. They were starting to suffer and some of them were dying off, so I thought, okay, well, these are gonna die inside if I leave them in anyway, and I'm gonna take a risk. I know our weather is not ideal to plant them yet because we had some 20-degree nights, not 20 degrees, but 20-something nights, like 27, 28. But I thought, you know, these are cold hardy plants, I'll risk it. But what happened was we had too many 20-something nights in a row and it killed my plants. So this is a do-over time for me. I reseeded a lot of my cabbages, my brassicas. So here on my front porch, I have some seedlings sitting in the sun, hoping for a do-over, hoping I have enough time between now and when it turns summer or summer-like weather, because brassicas really do like cold weather, and such as your broccolis and your cauliflower, and if it turns hot too fast, they'll just go to seed. So I'm hoping I have enough time to have a do-over, but I'll show you what I've done. So we have some cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and I believe this is broccoli, sitting out in the sunshine today. It's in the 50s, it's sunny. I figured this would be a great time to try to get these guys outside, get some sunshine on them, and hopefully they'll get used to the cooler weather and they won't be inside my house, and when I transplant them in the garden, they'll just be ready for it. Over here I had to redo celery too because it just couldn't withstand the cold temps. So there's some kale, there's some yellowing, but I'll be able to pull some of this out and separate them and grow them. This is what happened to some of my lettuce. This was beautiful before the cold hit. There's still life to it, but if you can see, I planted some more around here so we could get some more lettuce. This kale did not make it, so we'll have to transplant new kale in its place. Unfortunately, it did not tolerate the cold. I'm using this green stalk planter. I'll just kind of come back here and show you guys. I'm using this green stalk planter this year to plant my lettuces and kales because that takes up a lot of space in my garden. And if I can plant it here on my front porch and not have to waste so much space, that's ideal for me. You can see that this one was heavily damaged from the cold, but there's new life coming back. So, you know, the nice thing about it, even though it is not ideal for it to grow in these conditions, I do have somewhat of a head start. If I would have just done these all by seed, it would have I wouldn't be this far along yet. So I guess it is what it is. This is Tango leaf lettuce, and it did the best. So you can see these guys didn't do too bad with the cold. There's some damage, but they're okay. So a reason why I wanted to start my plants when I did, inside, some people might just plant them directly in their garden, direct sow seeds, and that's fine, and that works, and I did that for many, many years. I didn't use transplants actually until last year, and last year was the perfect spring growing season, and it worked perfectly for me. So what happened last year, I had some transplants that I planted cabbages and lettuces and all that stuff in the ground, and because we had such a mild spring, I got a jump start on my spring crops, which was wonderful. This year was the complete opposite. I did the same thing, and it just goes to show you every year is different, and you just have to be prepared for anything. I really like the idea of planting your transplants as soon as possible because they'll get a chance to grow nice and strong in your garden before the pest pressure gets too high. And especially with cabbages and stuff, those cabbage moths, just, you can keep on top of it with things like BT to kill the caterpillars, but I really don't like to spray stuff on my garden if I don't have to. And the sooner you start in the year to get those plants established, the stronger they'll be and more resistant to pests they'll be. So there is this desire that I have to have the earliest spring garden possible, plus it gives you food sooner. But then again, you can run into what I did this year and just have to redo everything all over again anyway. So I have not decided what I'm going to do next year, but it's just a good example of how the weather can just throw you for a loop, and you think you're doing everything right, and you just have to be flexible and change with what the weather's doing. This is my Mr. Stacky planter that I showed you guys in a different video. It's cheaper and smaller than the green stalk, and I found it on Amazon. I am going to plant this thing today, and on the top I'm going to be adding some cilantro. Cilantro is a cool weather loving crop, and I think that it's the perfect time to do this. So I'm not sure what else I'm going to put in the rest of these yet, but we'll start with cilantro on the top. I decided for my second layer I'm going to plant some radishes because I have not planted any in my garden yet, and they are so fast at growing and being ready to harvest. So I can plant these, and then as soon as they're done growing, I could plant some flowers in here or something. So we'll plant radishes maybe in the second and third layer. Our family likes to roast these in the oven. They're a great potato substitute. And when you roast them in the oven with a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper, the bitiness, the heat of the radish goes away, and it ends up being more like a potato. You still have a little bit of that taste, but it's a lot better to eat it that way. So I'm putting about 4 seeds per pocket here. So besides the top layer, I decided just to plant radishes in each one of these layers. I'm not gonna probably put any in the garden just to save some space, but this is what I planted. Early scarlet globe radish. So hopefully these will grow, and within a month we can harvest some radishes and bake them in the oven. When you plant seeds, don't forget to gently water them in. Nice thing about these Mr. Stackies, the water drains down to the bottom levels, so there's very good drainage in these. I'm going to try to get each little pocket here. A little quail update for you. 2 of my girls have started laying. Yay! We're gonna give them scrambled eggs, and you guys can see how they react to it. I'm doing this one-handed, so excuse the bad camera angle. What's this? Okay, hang on. I don't even have it down yet. They love eggs. They like sand a lot. I haven't let them have sand in a while, but it's one of their favorite things. They love their sand baths. You notice that some of the females are missing their feathers on their head. It's because the males are quite rough with them when it's... We're about to have some National Geographic up in here. I'm gonna cut that video short because we had some action going on I don't want YouTube to see. So anyway, what I was going to say is that if you see the females with feathers missing on their heads, apparently it's because there are not enough females in the cage and too many males. So my quail in the brooder box, they're about ready to move up to a new cage. So I'm going to move them all up together, and hopefully that will give the males more females and this won't be a problem anymore. But I'm waiting on a piece to my cage before I want to move them all into a separate cage. I can show you guys that cage. This is their new cage. It's a 3-tier cage from Wynola Ranch. And this is what they will be moving up into. Hey guys, I'm out in my flower beds and I wanted to show you, this is chamomile. Oh no, my dog got caught on the fence. This is chamomile. I grew this in the flower bed last year, and as you can see, they're all coming back. They reseeded themselves. So once you plant chamomile, you don't have to keep planting it year after year if you let it go to seed. I also have some echinacea coming up here. This will be the second year on echinacea, so hopefully this year I will get flowers. It takes 2 years before they will give flowers, so hopefully we will have some nice tea this year. If we're sick or just need some comfort tea before bed, we have chamomile and echinacea. Here are all the onion sets. Hopefully they'll start growing now that we've had some nice weather. The rhubarb hasn't really suffered at all. It's looking pretty good. This is exciting. My first pea is poking its way through the ground. Yay! Happy birthday, little guy. These are the Egyptian walking onions, and clearly they have not suffered at all. They are looking amazing. I have the littlest baby sprouts coming up. These are kohlrabi. They were some that I had to have a do-over on. They did not withstand that freeze we had. But hopefully I have enough time. I think I do. And we will have a bed of kohlrabi right here. Check out all these tomatoes in my grow room. That is going to make a lot of salsa, spaghetti sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauce. I am so excited for the tomatoes. So I'm going to end this video now. Thanks for hanging out with me today and going through the garden with me. I guess the big lesson I just want everybody to take away is be flexible, be patient, and I just feel thankful for do-overs. Hopefully this new heat wave will bring lots of growth to our plants, and I hope you all are able to get out in your gardens and enjoy this nice spring weather as well. Until next time.